Do you want to talk a bit about like why Sam? And
Yeah, I mean, Sam, he's obsessive. And so this is really interesting for you. So people have probably heard the term OCD, right? Obsessive compulsive disorder. First off, I would drop the D and just say somebody's obsessive and compulsive. It doesn't mean it's a disorder unless it affects their life negatively. And I would say many, quote, OCD people do better than people who are not. And so why would it be a disorder? But neither here nor there. So you have two components there. You have obsessiveness and you have compulsiveness. I think the ideal makeup of an entrepreneur is somebody who's obsessed but not compulsive. Is that you can literally hold your attention on this goal for years and not compulsively change direction, not compulsively need to do things to quell that. You just are obsessed with this one thing. And Sam is obsessed. He wants to build the absolute best product that is the most fun, that makes making money online and making your first business as easy as possible. And seeing that obsession and his attention to detail throughout the many months of conversation that we had before we decided to, before I started to buy in as a co-owner of the company and then obviously promote it publicly, I saw his obsession and I felt like it mirrored mine in a different vertical. And I think from a partnership perspective, that's what you want, is that you want someone who's as obsessed with you, as obsessed with whatever they're good at as you are with whatever you're good at. What you don't want is somebody who's as obsessed with the same things as you are, because then one of you isn't necessary. And so perfect partnerships, typically there's three big veins in a business. You've got product, you've got promotion, and you've got people. And so you want somebody who represents all three of those. Now, to be clear, the equity distribution doesn't need to be third. You could have an employee who's exceptional. It's just those are the functions that have to be maintained for business to grow.
my last question is a little like Easter egg for anyone who's made it all the way to the end of the video. From the first couple Skool Games, are there any like really amazing tips or tactics that you've seen from people building great communities and scaling really quickly?
So instead of tips or tactics, I will say that there's a lot of ways to win the game. And I think that is probably the meta lesson, is that I have seen people on the Skool Games who only did email outbound. They literally did cold email, got on the phone, and sold people into their community. Now, obviously, they'd have a higher ticket, so it's more like $500 a month or $1,000 a month for their community, but they won the Skool Games that way. There are people who already had organic audiences and then just like basically made the CTA and said, hey, put a ton of bonuses, ton of value in there, and they were able to take an audience that they basically weren't making anything from and then turn it into a community that they also got paid for. So they both deepen the community and make an income from it. So that's like the people who had audiences. There's also people who ran ads to make this work. There's people, and this is probably my favorite model, is there's these two guys, Minx and Fahad, who came in, I think, third last time. And neither of these guys have social media presences at all. But they reached out to an influencer that had like 50,000 followers, and they said, hey, we'll do everything. Like we'll edit your videos, we'll prompt you, we'll record it, and we'll do the CTAs, we'll do everything, and we'll make this community, and we'll manage it. And they grew him from 50 to 3 million. So they were good at what they did. And they also started the Skool Games in the first month they added like 40,000 in recurring revenue, or 50,000 or something like that in the first month in recurring revenue, not like recurring revenue. So my point is like, if I had to start over tomorrow at zero, and I didn't have any money and I had no connections, like no one knows me, I have no reputation, the model that I would use to win the games is I would use cold reach outs to people who are influencers to ask them to partner with me. Because of that, because the hit rate, you only need one. So from a success percent, you literally just need one. And the key, and this is the pro tip, so if you want an Easter egg, this is it. When you do these reach outs, every position has an advantage and a disadvantage. So I'm gonna zoom out for a second and explain the advantage of the underdog. So when I had Gym Launch, I had a guy so I had Alan too, my software company, and so this is kind of funny, but I had agencies using one of our unique selling props in their business that was trying to compete with my business, but we were the underlying infrastructure. Anyways, and so they were like, everybody wants to buy your thing because you're the big established player, right? And I was like, dude, when I came in, I wasn't the big established player. So what did I say then? So when you're coming in, you say, man, to Alex, you're just a number. Like, you're never going to talk to him. Like, he just owns this thing. Like, it's just some representative that he trained who's going to be on your account. Like, it's going to be nothing. With me, you get all my attention. I'm going to be fully focused. I only have 2 other customers. Like, you're going to have all my attention. That's the advantage. Now, if I'm Alex, I'm going to say, this kid's in his mom's basement. He has no idea what he's doing. There's a reason that he only has 2 customers, because he doesn't know how to provide value consistently. We've systematized this thing so we can consistently produce the result. Everybody has an advantage and everybody has a disadvantage. And so if you're getting in, even if you have 0 customers, here's what I would say.